Cancer that we have tomorrow. And along with the new moon, we're also on the precipice of the Nodal Shift from the nodes being in Taurus and Scorpio to Aries and Libra. So there's a lot shifting energetically. And this new moon is also opposite Pluto in Capricorn. So there's a lot of tension in the chart, but when I think of the tension, it feels like a springboard. It feels like good tension. And as I'm saying that, I'm looking down at, I brought this with me. I put this in my stories. I don't know if you saw it, but I was walking next to the greenhouse yesterday, and we have this black, like, thick plastic layer over some beds to try to suppress the weeds. And there's a few holes in it, and coming out of one of the holes was this snake skin. And I was like, wow, if that doesn't symbolize the end of this nodal shift and this Cancer new moon, I don't know what does. And you know what's funny? I also feel like in the past, I might have been afraid to even touch this. And I just reached down and grabbed it, and I just loved it, you know? And that's just like such a good symbol of coming out of that Scorpio-Taurus energy, that opposition. It's like we're no longer afraid of the shadow. We're no longer afraid of what sort of like slithers beneath our feet or undercover. And it's really all just that it comes back to the earth, you know? The darkness is the soil. That's where we create from. It's coming to terms with the shadows and the challenges and realizing that those are the material that we alchemize, you know, that we use to go to the next level. So the Sabian symbol for this new moon is so appropriate. Dark shadow or mantle thrown suddenly over the right shoulder. Occasionally we feel this mystery as a rush of spiritual empowerment that lets us know we are on track. And I had to look up the word mantle because, like, I could conceive what that meant, dark shadow or mantle thrown suddenly over the right shoulder, but I just really like looking up the definition of words sometimes. And it can mean a cloak or a shell, which how appropriate for Cancer. And it's also a layer of the earth made of rock or ice. So when I heard that part, I really saw this Capricorn energy. And with this symbol, I just see us beginning to trust our inner authority so much more than what we see outside of ourselves. And I see this woman like throwing off this cloak, like she no longer needs to be in hiding. As Pluto does his work through Capricorn, it's like we've seen so much disintegrate. We've really unveiled the shadows, and we've really, you know, become so aware that we realize, like, oh, this is really what's going on, and I don't want any part of that. I think I'm going to choose what I want to do in my own life over what, you know, other people may be trying to impose upon me. You know, that it's like trusting that inner authority, that sovereignty, and intuition too. So I also feel like this symbol leads us right into this nodal shift of Aries and Libra, where Aries is, you know, the north node will be in Aries, the south node will be in Libra, and this is really giving us the courage to really step into that authentic self that we've been discovering, and to let that self shine, you know, come out of hiding, throw off the mantle. And the other thing I have to say, I love how it says, suddenly, throwing it suddenly over the right shoulder. I just made an order, like an Amazon order the other day, where I was ordering two books about the Akashic Records, reading the Akashic Records. And I ordered a 10-pound bucket of real salt, Redmond's real salt, because I really like cooking with that, and I like ordering in bulk, and I just had to laugh at the contents of that order. Like, you know, you always hear the ritual of throwing salt over your right shoulder, and it's like that's what we're doing with the past in a way. I mean, we do honor it first. Like with this Cancer energy, I feel our ancestors, and I feel them saying, let it go. You know, you've done so much work to heal yourself and therefore heal those who came before you. And now can you let the past go and start creating the new? And yesterday I was sort of sitting with this, and I was starting to crack open a little bit, you know, just thinking about my journey and how our soul chooses these crazy things for us to go through sometimes so that we can come out on the other side of that darkness and find the brightest light within ourselves. And there's an honoring there, you know, there might be some grieving, but we're really being asked to let go. And I felt that at the Capricorn full moon as well, but this, you know, Cancer is all about the past, so it's coming up again a little bit. And also, I was sort of reviewing what the past nodal shift has been. I'm still somewhat new to astrology, and so I haven't really observed what a whole nodal shift is like and how that affected my life. This was really the first time that I observed that, and I could even go back a little bit before that if I wanted to, but this was my own nodal axis, so it was really big for me personally. And so if you want to look back at the past 18 months and see what shifted, because, you know, this nodal axis was intense, you know, individually and collectively. I think that it's really cool to look back and see what all we discovered, where we have been and where we are now, and just to honor the whole process. So one of the things that I felt was like, this is a way we process and we release, and we sort of empty our vessel to move forward in our more divinely guided way. I feel like this moon is really asking us to trust. You know, it's like new moon in Cancer. It's like the darkest place in the chart. You know, it's like at the bottom. It's really the inner world. And I saw like the Black Madonna. I saw the divine Sophia just holding us, you know, and it's like, we may not know what's next. We may not know what everything looks like in the future, but there's this trust that I feel like is being asked of us, to just trust ourselves, trust the divine, trust in everything that's going on, trust in the good times, the bad times, the miracles, the tragedies, and just allow everything to unfold. And know that you can always go within and trust that intuition, and you'll know what to do. And I think this comes back to like really regulating the nervous system as well, knowing how to take those moments to yourself and just breathe and clear the mind and recenter, you know, all that good stuff. So as the nodes shift, it'll be really interesting seeing how that expresses itself. You know, Aries is in, I feel like we've got a lot of Leo energy right now, with Venus and Mercury in Leo. Venus is going to be in Leo for a long time until October. There's this passionate energy to really like bring forth what it is that we want to share with the world, or just even create in our own lives, or even just how we want to be differently in our own lives, in a more authentic way. And it's like this new skin. It's like it's gonna be a little bit tender because it's it's just like we've shed this old skin, we've thrown off that cloak, and now we're sort of exposing ourselves in this new way, to a new way of being. So I say that just to keep it in mind, keep it in the back of your mind, not to try to push really hard, just be gentle with yourself. And what else is cool that I noticed is the South Node is going to be conjuncting Haumea. It's really close to her right now. And Haumea is a Kuiper Belt object. You can learn more about that from Kelly Hunter's work. Pam Gregory talks with Kelly Hunter about those objects. I really enjoyed that interview. And Haumea is this goddess who's like incredibly regenerative. She births babies out of her limbs. And she also stands for natural law. So with this conjuncting Libra, I see, our relationships sort of repairing themselves in this very like magical way, a very easeful way. And I also see a lot of divine justice on the way as well. A lot of injustices being healed and possibly corrected. So that will be really interesting as well. But I think that's about all I had for the astrology. I did want to pull some cards. I pulled some cards that felt like my ancestors calling me. So first I want to pull something from my Rose Oracle. And because I definitely feel some strong Magdalene energy. Woo! And Sophia, as I was saying earlier, the Great Mother. Oh, release the petals, transformation, death, and rebirth, shedding all change. It's just sort of reiterating what I was saying. It's like, let go. Let Pluto do his job. Allow the release. And I'm always feeling like our Atlantean ancestors as well, as we embark on this Aquarian age. So let's see what they have to share. We are the miracle of one, the miracle. And this is a scene from the manger, when in the wise men following that star. This always brings me back to the solstice of 2020, when Jupiter and Saturn were conjunct, and this is the energy of outgrowing the Father. This is that energy of outgrowing our shell, coming into a new one, really getting to the source of who we are, and realizing that we're so much more than maybe we initially believed we were, that we are divine humans. The miracle. I'm going to have to look at the description of this card because I feel there's another message with this. We are the miracle of one. You are encouraged to believe in miracles again, and also the idea that something wonderful is about to happen. By entertaining the thought of miracles entering your life immediately, you are likewise encouraging this miracle energy in those who have direct connection to you as well. Also, if you still have confusion about your life's calling, today is the perfect time to use this miracle energy to bring clarity to this, remembering too that the law of purpose always brings with it a strong desire to be of service to the planet in some way or another. I strongly suggest you select a clear quartz crystal to simply remind you of your truth. I am the miracle. My life is miraculous. I love that. That really goes along with releasing the past and releasing anything that has been really challenging or traumatic, because sometimes we get stuck in this pattern of, oh, that happened before, it's going to happen again. Like we think it's going to repeat itself. And that's just like a survival mechanism, you know? It's like our brain gathering these experiences and using them to keep us safe, but we really are being asked to let go of that. And I wanted to pull a card from my Egyptian gods deck. Ooh, I'm not familiar with this guy. 28, or who? Explorations. It's a really cool card. I love this cobra with the wings and the ankh around his elbow and the staffs, the ibis. There's a lot of cool symbolism here. Let's see what it says. 28. He is represented with his arms raised with a palm branch in each hand and a smaller one as a headdress. He is called the God of a million years because he is the personification of infinity or eternity. With respect to the deceased, he grants millions of years in the afterlife. He symbolizes individuality and the desire for inner searching. If you are going through a moment of profound crisis, have faith. Take things as they are and take your time. You are destined to evolve. It will be a slow, profound movement which needs time for you and the circumstances to reach maturity. Slowness advises you to be prudent, reserved, discreet, and patient, and have a sense of duty. This really speaks to this Libra South Node, I feel like, to help balance out that impulsive Aries energy. I've been experiencing this myself. I feel like, you know, I discovered all of these past life aspects of myself, and I wanted to start doing them again now. And I've had to go through some experiences that have humbled me because, and I'm an Aries rising, so I am impulsive. I am like I do want to like lead. I do want to pioneer, blaze a trail. But there's also patience needed. And what I've been learning recently is to slow down and just be present. And when I do that, it's amazing what unfolds. Rather than when I rush forward and force and push, I'm sort of blocking myself when I do that. So I really love that card because it really feels like, you know, with him representing eternity, it's like the now moment is how we tap into that eternity, and everything is unfolding in divine timing. So I really love that. I got a new deck, the Divine Feather Messenger by Allison De Nicola, artwork by David Shirer, and I freaking love it. Like, look how gorgeous the feathers are. I mean, there's all these different feathers, and you can either pick a feather that pops out. I still like to shuffle them. And let's see what feather comes out for this new moon for us. Ooh, that one's pretty. Ooh, pheasant. Look how pretty that is. It's gorgeous. Here's the other side. Pheasant, the time is ripe for creation and connection. Focus your attention in these areas. I definitely feel this. With all of this Leo energy that we've had, and we've still got some of it going. I love how Mars moved from Leo to Virgo. And I told my friends I had this visualization. I've been getting all these messages like, go, do it. Like, I feel like my guides are like, we just gave you so many ideas, now go do them. And I saw myself as like this little mini donkey, like slowly making my trek up a mountain on this narrow path, winding around this mountain. And my guides are like, create. And I have all these like these packs of ideas on my back, and I'm just like making my way up this mountain like, okay, I'll get them all done someday. But it's really about we've been in this really creative energy where we're like getting all of these ideas, and now it's time to take the ones that are like the highest priority, or the one that we're most passionate about, or that we just know like this is the one I need to work on now, and just start on it, you know, like take initiative and actually take action. I love that. Thank you, Pheasant. All right, and one more. I'm going to pull one more from the tree oracle deck, because the trees, to me, trees feel so ancestral. I mean, you think of the tree of life. I'm seeing like the Viking tree or the family tree. That's what I'm seeing, is like the branches with all of our ancestors coming off of the different branches. So yeah, this one felt appropriate for ancestors. And let's see what tree angel wants to come through today. Scots pine. Ooh, look at that. I love how he's got this like column of light going right through his body. 19. Let's see what this says. The pine is a pioneer and fulfills its role in life with great versatility. It spreads out its distinctive and steadfast branches everywhere, from the cold of Siberia to the heat of southern climates. In semi-desert or on steep mountain slopes, and even in salty air of the coast, the pine is a social tree. It produces pine cones that contain highly nutritious seeds. In the forest, the pine mixes well with other species and is the only tree allowed by the oak to grow within its immediate vicinity. Viking chieftains and the mighty warriors of ancient Scotland, they just said Viking, oh well, would not go to war or allow themselves to be buried without the presence of the pine angel. The pine itself is a warrior, the greatest of them all. It is bursting with purpose and perseverance, and when the time comes, can be as patient as an angel or as decisive as a sword. Pine brings clarity and adaptability, combined with the strong impetus to be creative and the inspiration to follow our own path. One of its greatest strengths is synthesis, as well as directness and sincerity. Success, even triumph, are Pine's companions, but only because it accepts responsibility for its actions. Pine's secret is its loyalty and willingness to serve a higher purpose. We must keep this in our minds and hearts. If we don't, we will inevitably start to misuse Pine's talents, becoming shameless and arrogant. When Pine is absent, we are no longer able to confront issues, but become timid and indecisive, confused and insecure, lacking orientation. We become bewildered and lapse into treachery and darkness, eventually becoming confined by the prison of our own fear. I've experienced those things for sure. Here is a little oracle. Persistence and patience. Stamina needs courage. Doubt evaporates in the fire of devotion. Ooh, God, I love that. And the streaming life force swells. The spiritual warrior has a single mind and serves a purpose far greater than the self. That is so the notes right now, Aries and Libra. And you know what? It feels like with these new ways of being and these new creations and all of this shadow work and shedding and all of that we're doing, what we're coming into next now is applying all of what we've learned in our lives. And then we're all mirrors for each other. So what we're going to experience is a reflection of our inner world. And this inner world may be a little different now. And when you see something that somebody else is doing that's triggering you, that's a clue. There's something in your inner world to be looked at. So it's really saying, like, take responsibility for what's coming up rather than blaming the other. If we could all really see each other as mirrors, we could really, that's just such a great way to reflect on yourself. If you see the other as a part of you, that oneness, that miracle, like that miracle card. And also what comes up around Aries and Libra, I feel like, is discernment and boundaries too, because it's really about what is for my highest good, what is my mission, what is my purpose, how am I of service, and then who is aligned with that for me, right? Like, or what is aligned with that for me, and can I let go of the things that don't feel aligned? And even if I can't, how can I learn from them? So I really love this card. This might have to go on my altar. And I, also pine is like, it's used a lot as a building material, was something I was hearing. And so, and it grows really fast. So yeah, I just feel like this is going to help us build whatever it is that we're creating, allowing that divine inspiration to flow through us. So I hope you have a wonderful new moon. Thank you for being with me here